Record funding then, is that a surprise?
It is, given the political climate we're in. The reason I'm in Bath University, or the University of Bath, I beg your pardon, they're one of the elite sporting centres where many of the Olympic and para athletes train that will get to go to Olympics or Paralympics, those that were in Paris and those that hope to go to Los Angeles in 2028. But yeah, £330 million is a record funding award to UK sport. They then distribute to the sports. I think it's been well documented in the news that the budget had a lot of cuts in it, and that many government departments are being asked to make cuts. Yet sport, elite sport, certainly with UK sport, because their money comes from the Treasury and from the National Lottery, has an increased funding. Overall for Olympic and Paralympic sports, about an extra £18.5 million from the Paris awards they got. It works over a 4-year cycle. This will now kick in from April next year. So there was some surprise. They've managed to somehow persuade the government, and I think the view is that sport has a very, very good return on its investment. And we know prior to the budget, a number of government officials went out to Paris, to both the Olympics and the Paralympics, and saw the work was being done. So it's viewed as a good investment by government. But yes, I think given the climate, the fact that there are no cuts but an increase in the amount of money that elite sport gets, there is some surprise. But that's not to say they're not happy, because they very, very much are happy. They've got this record £330 million investment.
Of course, a lot of sports wanting a bit of the pie, and some pieces of pie are bigger than others. Which sports would you say are the big winners, Geraint?
This is one. In the pool, the aquatics, they're the second. They have the second highest funding award. Cycling has the most at just over £30 million. Swimming, which includes aquatics, diving as well, at about £28 million. But both those sports brought in significant medals at the last games in Paris. Cycling, 11 medals. Aquatics, from diving and the pool as well, 10 medals as well. They're kind of the big winners, along with rowing and sailing. But these sports deliver the medals. We're not talking about grassroots sport. Yes, they want there to be a filter down to the grassroots sport. This is the funding for the elite athletes that will be going to the Los Angeles Games in 2028, and for those that have the potential to go to the next Games in 2032 in Brisbane. So you've got some of the usual suspects there in terms of cycling, swimming here, sailing and rowing, etc., who do very, very well. But bar two sports out of the 50 in total who have been given their awards from the Olympic and the Paralympics, and some potential going forward, every sport has seen an increase on the award that they got for the Paris 4-year cycle. And again, just given how tight money is within the public purse, within politics as well, I think sport today, certainly UK sport, and the sports that they fund for the Olympics and Paralympics are breathing a huge sigh of relief.
OK, so most of them celebrating, but as you say, not all. Athletics funding is down a bit. Why is that?
Yeah, I mentioned two sports whose funding has been cut, canoeing, but also athletics. We mentioned there the biggies, the heavyweights of Olympic and Paralympic sports in terms of aquatics, cycling, but athletics. Now, for the Paralympic cycle, they have got an increased investment, but for the Olympics, they're almost £2 million down, £2 million cut. Quizzing the chief executive of UK Sport and the performance director today, why they're saying that overall, between the Olympics and the Paralympics, they're still receiving in the region of £30 million. And with what they think they can do with that money, that is enough. However, there does seem to be some turmoil within UK athletics, British athletics at the moment, perhaps away from the track and field. And there are some, disappointments. The chief executive of UK athletics, a man called Jack Buckner, has sent out a statement to me a little earlier today saying he's disappointed with the award that he's got from UK Sport. He felt that the athletics have presented a compelling case from the 10 medals they won at the Olympics, including Keely Hodgkinson as well. Let's not forget they had athletics, track and field, had not just one of the stars of Team GB, they had one of the stars of the entire Olympics at Paris 2024 when Keely Hodgkinson took that 800-metre gold so decisively, so emphatically at the games, and she was, in front of a huge crowd at the Stade de France. They're kind of feeling they had a compelling case going forward for Los Angeles and for Brisbane to have an increase in their funding award. But it's been decided on this occasion, though, they're actually going to have a cut for the Olympics. Just to make clear, it's just a cut in the funding for the Olympics. The para-athletics programme does get an increase in its award. However, disappointed is the word being used by UK athletics in terms of the award they've received today.
Just finally, Geraint, before we let you go, because I know you've got a lane book for 3:30 behind you. What else has caught your eye?
Boxing, and the reason why boxing as an Olympic sport really gathers attention. We know a huge amount of our viewers and our customers are hugely love their boxing, reading, watching about it. It did very well during the Olympic Games in terms of the boxing that was going on. We also had the Imran Khalif controversy as well. But there's a bigger problem for boxing, not in GB. The participation numbers for men, women, girls and boys are well. It's a sport that appears on the up domestically. However, there is no governing body, Jules, for boxing right now. You may recall during the Olympics this spat which kind of centred and came off for the Imran Khalif controversy around the IBA, who are barred from organising Olympic boxing events. There's a new organisation with a breakaway called World Boxing, which has the likes of GB Boxing, the USA, a number of big Western nations, but is looking to bring more nations away from the IBA. So at the moment, although they want boxing at the LA Games in 2028, they are not confirmed for it because they have to have a global body. The IOC has independently run boxing at the last two Olympic Games, for Paris and for Tokyo, because the IBA, as I say, they are barred, suspended because of allegations over corruption, financial irregulations, and also sexism and misogyny as well. Huge concerns over the organisation. They will not be allowed to organise an Olympic boxing tournament anytime soon. So they need a saviour. They need a new international global federation to come in and run it for 2028. They haven't got that yet. However, the chief executive of UK Sport has told me today they are confident there will be a global governing body in place for LA 2028. That is why boxing has pretty much got £1 million extra, about £12.5 million investment in their funding now for Los Angeles 2028. That'll be a huge boost domestically for GB Boxing, because the much was expected of Paris, and they only actually delivered one medal, Lewis Richardson in the men's 71 kilo category. That was a huge disappointment from a hugely talented squad, and they will be desperate to get many more medals come LA 2028. They've got the funding, they just need the International Federation to become the governing body.